Ba'ashim Yahushai Barakathum to all the brothers in Israel. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Ilatha Ba'ashim Yahushai to all the sisters. This is the ISUPK. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the one and only Commander Julian Calendar. And this is the ISUPK Las Vegas Tuesday Brotherhood class. You understand? Today, as I said last week, we're going to touch on the hold on, Salaki. We're going to touch on Christmas and New Year's. The water, sis. All right, the water. We're going to touch on New Year's and Christmas, the origins, mostly just really showing y'all scripturally and from my research that, you know, Christmas and New Year's goes against the Most High God. You understand? And then after that, Lord allowed, if we have the time, then we're going to go into we're going to continue on what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks about basically the main subject of that free will does not exist. And as the title states, which actually goes along with Christmas and New Year's, the main focus is, the Most High God, whether or not he loves the sin, or whether or not he loves the sinner but hates the sin. The ISUPK, the truth of the Bible actually says he hates both. You understand? So we're gonna, the objective for today, as I said, is to go over, touch on what the original history of Christmas and New Year's, and then, as I said, Lord allow, we have the time to go into my main topic. We'll go over how we'll debunk, what the Christian church says about God loving the sinner but hating the sin. You understand? We're going to clear that up. Before we actually get into it, though, just like how we ask every week, you understand? I'm going to ask that y'all make sure you like and share, on the YouTube and on the Facebook page. It's lucky. You understand? It's very important that we all do our part to get this truth spread out to the four corners of the earth. You understand? There's always somebody, some brother, some sister that is looking for a way to actually change their lives. You understand? Turn their lives around to, get away from the oppression that they are under as much as possible. And the only way that you can actually do that is by coming into the ISUPK under Commander Julian Calendar. You understand? And the reason for that is because we are the only place on the face of the earth that actually follows with the orders and the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High God has set out for us. You understand? You got all these, I was listening to some classes, some excellent classes going on today, mind you. I was listening to the DC class, and kind of what his topic was today was he called it camp begging, basically. On Facebook you see how all these other camps, these unity camps coming back and forth talking about how they're the truth, or no, I'm sorry, no one's that bold to actually say that they're the truth, but they are in order. They are the organization that Yahweh Shai is, going to actually deal with. They're going to be a part of the 144, the whole shebang. You understand? Just a bunch of nonsense. You understand? But at the end of the day, they all came from 1 West, ISUPK. You understand? They all came from underneath our banner. You understand? When Israelites, when we actually learned who we were, for example, you understand, we didn't start off saying shalom or putting fringes on our t-shirts. You understand? But it's because people tore off from us, from the original. You understand? Walked away from the Lord is why now you have people wearing fringes on their t-shirts like goofballs. You understand? Or they saying shalom, and just all the, honestly, they Israelites, but they Christian Israelites. You understand? Like, that's exactly why whatchamacallit is so prominent. The gay UIC, the JUIC, you understand? Judas united in Christianity. You understand? But anyways, just the point is man, we are the original. You understand? And for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to be able to turn their lives around, the only way they can truly do that is by coming to the original source, the one and only place where you can actually serve the Most High God the way that He intended Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to serve Him. You understand? not man's way. And we're gonna kind of touch on that a little bit, about man creating his own ways. You understand? When we go into Jeremiah, as we talk about, our subtopic with Christmas and New Year's. You understand? So let me just go ahead and finish liking and sharing that, and then we'll get it started. I got a couple of articles that I'm gonna read, that we're gonna go over, a couple of verses. You understand? And then we're gonna get into the main topic, Lord allow we have the time, which we should. But all right, let me get that ready. All right, so we're gonna start with going over the Christmas. You understand? So first of all, this is from CBS News. Okay, a mainstream, one of the major networks of news. Understand? They are familiar with, the origins of Christmas. You understand? They even they interview somebody, a historian. You understand, to go over, what the origins of Christmas was in the first place, for you to actually read. You understand? Now, we're not gonna pull it, but the Most High God does say about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, His people, the Israelites, right, that they are a stiff-necked people. You understand? And that we are going to be destroyed for the lack of knowledge, right? You bring them two together, man. We so damn stiff-necked, we won't even we allow ourselves to stay destroyed because we don't want knowledge. You understand? We have an entire encyclopedia, dictionary, thesaurus, all this knowledge at the tips of our fingers, but yet, we use these stupid devices just to try to, destroy our people by, pimping out our sisters, by selling drugs. You understand? Just doing all manners of wickedness. That's what we use these damn devices for. When it only takes a few moments to pull up Google and then, research something real quick. Because mind you, all I put in was the history of Christmas, and within the first two links, this doggone link had came up. And reading over it, it's got some real good fast information about where Christmas originally comes from. You understand? So again, this is cbsnews.com. The title is The Unexpected Origins of Popular Christmas Traditions. You understand? So this says, though December 25th is the day Christmas celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, the date itself and several of the customs we've come to associate with Christmas actually evolved from pagan traditions celebrating the winter solstice. Now, for those of y'all that ain't too hip to it, the winter solstice is what the Romans used to worship for their gods. That was their Christmas. That was their time of celebrating. I believe it was Janus. You understand? We'll move on and find out. So, like, Christmas is really about bringing out your inner pagan. Let me read that one more time for y'all, because again, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, we so doggone stiff-necked that we refuse to educate ourselves. You understand? And one thing is ain't nobody celebrates any type of holiday better than a Black, Hispanic, and Native American. We go the hardest with all holidays. But mind you, if you think about it, if we were to stop all holidays, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were to stop partaking in all holidays, the world economy would crash in damn near an instant. You understand? It particularly America's economy. You understand? Because the entire world's economy is based off of our spending. You understand? This world revolves, this world spins because of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's why the Bible even says that we are the salt of the earth in the first place. You understand? But if we were to just simply stop, man, this we stop this country in a heartbeat, and we be able to provoke Christ to come back. And first of all, you understand? But so like, where was I at? Oh yeah, Christmas is really about bringing out your inner pagan. So it's important for us Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that are not aware of this, that refuse to get this knowledge for themselves, for us to teach y'all. You understand that you partaking in Christmas is actually pagan. Now, with that being said, you got to think, was Christ pagan too? No. Christ was against all paganism. Actually, anything that goes against the Most High God, which, Christ walked after, is pagan. You understand? If you atheist, you pagan. If you agnostic, you pagan. You understand? Because ultimately, all of them together, and this is the fault of Christianity. All of them together make up Christianity in the first place. The agnostics, the atheists. You understand? Because you know what? I haven't really heard of no atheists that don't partake in Christmas or his birthday. You understand? So all in all, you take all that together. It don't even matter if you a Muslim, if you were Buddhist, you some Sling Shong Shing Hong over on, in Japan, King Kong. It don't matter what you practice. You are a Christian. You understand? And if you a Christian, you a pagan. You understand that? Reading on. Historian, mind you, this is a historian saying, so it's not even me just saying this. I'm reading an article that a historian was recorded saying. You understand? Historian Kenneth C. Davis told CBS this morning. According to Davis, Christmas was celebrated as early as the 4th century, suggesting that it had almost nothing to do with Jesus Christ. So even when it first began, it had almost nothing to do with Jesus Christ. Now, I'm gonna help y'all out real quick for those of y'all that ain't too hip with the to the Bible, right? Some of y'all Christians that might be watching. You understand? Christ wasn't born during the winter, first of all. So there's no way in hell that his birthday could be just in December, December 25th or December at all. You understand? There's little bits and clues that you can pull from the Bible to see what time of year that he was born in. You understand? So first of all, we know that Christ was born in Bethlehem, right? So that's one. We know the region that he was in. Now think about how cold it is in that region of the world during the winter. Okay. Now, mind you, with the I can't remember. So like I can't remember what that scene is at. What that's called, where they got they got white Mary and white baby Jesus in like the little barn or whatever, and then the four messengers showed up bearing gifts and stuff like that to Christ, and then the North Star. You understand? At that time, that wouldn't be possible for them. You wouldn't have a baby out in the middle of winter in that region of the world. Reason being because it is cold. Man, we out here in Las Vegas, I believe. Let me see what the temperature is right now. It's only 7:31, and right now it's 45 degrees. In the next couple of hours, man, we're gonna be in the 30s, if not in the 20s. You understand? Man, Bethlehem get colder there than it does here. You understand that? So I wouldn't take my baby outside right now in this, bone chilling cold. You really think that Mary would do that, or Joseph would do that with his own son? nativity scene. There you go. The water says the nativity scene. That's what it's called. But you really think that any parent at that would take their child outside when it's that cold just so they can receive a couple of gifts? Well, you better bring your ass inside. Matter of fact, man, add some wood to the fire as y'all come in. Man, and make sure you shut my door real quick. You understand? Take that cloth and goddamn, block the bottom of the door so none of that heat get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it was too damn cold. And of course, there was also a reason why it mentions a specific star at the day of his birth. You understand? The reason being, now, mind you, of course, in the ISUPK, we do not worship the stars. We don't get into the whole astrology and this, that, and the other. You understand? We don't do that. But we do understand that we are to utilize the stars for our own personal benefit. You understand? That being, when is it time to start farming? The time to sow your crop and also to reap it. You understand? Hell, that's also how you're able to navigate in the ocean. You use the stars. You understand? So we utilize the stars to our benefit. We don't worship them. Now, you identify what that my tongue is all twisted up. You identify what that specific star was on the days of his birth, Yahushua Mashiach's birth, in the region that he was in. That'll let you know that constellation of stars was there during the spring. You understand? Christ is not no winter baby. Christ was born at the beginning of the year, the real beginning of the year, in the spring. You understand? Nothing starts anew from death. Just think about that. You understand? Nothing starts anew from death. And that's what winter is the season of death, essentially. That's why everything is dead. You understand? But that season of spring is the season of new life. And that's why that's the beginning of the year. Just to kind of hit on that just real quick. You understand? All right, now I'll read it on. In ancient Rome, there was a feast. Now, Salaki, I'm just gonna apologize now. I've been really slacking with my my hooked on phonics, so I might mess up a couple of these words reading, but just bear with me. In ancient Rome, there was a feast called Saturnalia that celebrated the solstice. What is the solstice? It's the day that the sun starts coming back. The days start getting longer, and most of the traditions that we have that relate to Christmas relate to the solstice. Now, what's important about that, from what we just read, is the fact that it is the worship of the sun. You understand? And that's one thing that pagans love to do, is worship that doggone sun. Does it sound familiar with how they made Christianity made the new Sabbath on Sunday, which Sunday is after, is a day for the sun, deliberately for the sun, to sun worship. You understand? And from this article, with just with just giving the history, learning just a brief little bit of the history of Christmas, it's already coincided, paganism and its sun worship with, with Christmas that y'all think is, of God. It's in celebration of Christ. You understand? If I may, before we read on, I never read the scripture. I never opened the Bible and read that Christ celebrated his birthday, recognized his birthday, even mentioned his doggone birthday. You understand? I never even read where he was, excited about getting some gifts. You understand? And ultimately, all y'all wicked ass Christians, man, that's the only reason why y'all even like Christmas in the first doggone place. Not because you get to give a present, it's because you getting some presents. And for the most part, the people who hate Christmas the most was the ones, before they actually knew what it was, the ones that hated the most are the ones who got like no damn gifts. Because it's like, what's the point? What is there to be excited about? You understand? Man, that's how wicked that doggone holiday is in the first place. You understand? So like, where was I at? I'm gonna read that from the top of that sentence. And most of the traditions that we have that relate to Christmas relate to the solstice, which was celebrated in ancient Rome on December 25th. So when Christianity became the official religion, in a sense, in Rome, they were able to fix this date. There's a little discrepancy about it, but there's no question that the fact that it was celebrated in Rome as an important day with gift giving, candle lighting, and singing and decorating houses really cemented Christmas as December 25th. So, what y'all don't even realize, the Romans, whom of which persecuted, murdered an innocent man by the name of Yahushua Mashiach, you understand, or Jesus Christ, you understand, these people just basically just kind of scooted over that name and said, you know what, this is going to be, in remembrance of his birthday, so, remembrance for him, so to speak. When they was already celebrating what they was celebrating, the winter solstice, while he was on the scene, before he was on the scene, and quite frankly after, and just gave it a different name so that y'all goofy asses would keep on celebrating their pagan ways, keeping their pagan customs. You understand? Mind you, the Bible says about our oppressor, the so-called white man, that he is the most subtle beast of the field. Now, if you ask me, that right there is pretty subtle. So like it. Just one more grace. Hey, no, you got the wrong number. So lucky. You understand? All of these, the things that you do today to celebrate and upkeep Christmas, man, you doing the same thing that they was doing to maintain to keep and maintain the winter solstice. And that's what you're actually doing. You ain't doing nothing to pay homage to Christ. You understand? You're not doing anything that the Most High God wants you to do in the first doggone place. You understand? All right, read it on. Another custom we can thank the pagans for: Christmas trees, which is something we are going to pull out of the Bible. You understand? We're going to go into the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10. And we're going to start at verse 1. Oh, go on, man. So, log in. Let's go. All right. Let me see if I want to read the rest of this real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna read the rest of this paragraph, and then we're gonna read what I had pulled in the scripture. So we're gonna hold Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. I'm gonna read the rest of this paragraph on this article. Another custom we can thank the pagans for: Christmas trees. Davis explained that the evergreen trees signal the return of life and light, as the winter solstice meant the days were starting to get longer. They started to hang an apple on it, so little red balls on green trees. Get the picture here? So all of these things celebrate the idea that life and light are coming back into the world, which is essentially what Christmas means to Christians around the world. Man, y'all simpletons. And you know what? I'm saying y'all, but I was a part of y'all at one point. You understand? I just took the teachings that was given to me. You understand that, the things that Commander General Yohana taught me, I took those things seriously. You understand? And that's why I don't partake in Christmas no more. You understand? My household does not partake in Christmas no more. You understand? We are not, ain't no paganism ends with my seed. You understand? Now we're gonna read out of the Bible what it says about these Christmas, about Christmas. You understand? Because mind you, I know I said earlier that the Bible, nowhere in the Bible does it say anything about Christ's birthday, but the Bible does say something about Christmas. You understand? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you. The Lord is speaking unto you. You understand? These ain't my words. This isn't Arak's words. This isn't Commander General Yohana's words. These are not the words of man. This is the word which the Lord speaketh unto you. You understand? O house of Israel, not everybody on the face of the earth. You understand? Not, Christians and anybody that, will confess, Christ's name and, say that they're what the Christians say in the church, that they're saved by the blood of Christ and they accept Christ as their Lord and Savior and this, that, and the other. No, it just says, "Oh, house of Israel," which means that that is a seed, that is a bloodline. You understand? Which the house of Israel today is the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So the Lord, the Most High God, is talking to you, Black man, to you, Hispanic man, to you, Native American man, and women, of course. Verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Now, again, like we discussed earlier, you understand, anything that is not of the Lord, anything that you are not doing in that comes out of the Bible, you understand, that you are not following, if you're not following the Most High God's words, what he had commanded us to do, it is pagan. You understand? If you're not keeping Passover, you pagan. You understand? You're not participating in the Day of Atonement, you a pagan. You understand? To keep it simple, you a Christian. You understand? Which is a pagan. You understand? So, and of course, if you a pagan, that is the way of the heathen, is to be pagan. Because they don't have a God. God ain't dealing with them. They just trying to do whatever the hell they can to feel like they're getting some sort of power. You understand? To feel like somebody is dealing with them. That's why they, cutting chickens and goats and, sacrificing their babies and this, that, and the other, because they think that if they do that, something or something, someone or whatever is going to, empower them when it don't. You understand? Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathens. We're not to learn their ways. We're not to do what they do. And we're going to find out what the Bible is talking about in specific about what they do that we're not supposed to partake in as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So, like, when you see them shooting stars and, how they be freaking out about, every doggone asteroid and comet, they say this one's heading for Earth and we're going to die, 2012, 2021, understand, 2054, there's always a new freaking date. There's always a new freaking asteroid and it's coming right for Earth. But you know what? When you an Israelite, when you a priest and prophet of the Lord, when you follow after the law, statutes, and commandments, and you know this Bible like you're supposed to, and you study this Bible like you're supposed to, you know that this earth is going to be here forever. You understand? It's just them doggone heathens trying to get you to get tripped up on their bullshit because they know that their world is going to end. You understand? And so they just trying to get you to, just get in that mode. Just, what? Screw it. I'm about to die anyways. I'm going to do what they doing anyway. You know what I'm saying? To trip you up. Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. Like I said, they over there sacrificing whatever the hell they sacrificing for no doggone reason, because ain't nothing going to empower them. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. Oh, snap. Now we, going from the Bible to the article to the Bible, we talking about some tree, right? Topic being right now, Christmas. For one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with an axe, with the axe, Laki. Verse 4, they deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. I mean, what did we just describe? You understand? For those of y'all that partake in Christmas, yeah, you yourself might not be out there in the forest, cutting down them. What are they called? He said it in here. An evergreen tree. You understand? Them pine trees or whatever that makes a big ass mess in your doggone house as it's dying in the middle of your freaking living room. Now all of a sudden I just got that smell of pine needles in my nose. That was weird. But anyways, what do you do after you chop? They chop it down. You bring it to your living room. Yeah, you fasten that doggone thing. You put it in the little Christmas tree holder thing. Fill that doggone thing up with water. Then you take them screws from each side and screw in the screws into the tree so that it stays secure right there, looking all big, pretty in the middle of the living room. Okay, now the tree is fastened in the middle of my living room. What's the next step? All right, now we getting the tassels. We getting the doggone, some of y'all like to put the little frost spray on it so it look like it snowed in your living room like a dumbass. You understand? Then you put the little Christmas balls that freaking break every year. So you constantly spending all buku money on new Christmas balls. You understand? All them decorations on the Christmas tree being silver and gold. You got the silver tassels, got the gold tassels. You understand? Oh yeah, now you're right, young man. The candy cane. You understand? All that goofy nonsense, right? I mean, y'all didn't know. This Bible has been here. We reading out Jeremiah. This has been here for a couple thousand years, talking about Christmas. And what did we just read in the article, right? Another custom we thank the pagans for, Christmas trees. Davis explained that the evergreen signal the return of life. Hold on, where was it that I wanted to read exactly? They started to hang an apple on it, so the little red balls on green trees. Get the picture here. So all of these things celebrate the idea that life and light are coming back into the world, which is essentially what Christmas means to the Christian world. You understand? Oh, here it is. That's what I was looking for. There's a little discrepancy about it, but there's no question the fact that it was celebrated in Rome as an important day with gift giving, Christmas, candle lighting. Everybody, when they do caroling, they walk around with a freaking, a candle in front of your front door. Man, I throw snowballs up your goofy ass with rocks in it. Man, get out my porch. You understand? I don't want to hear your nasty ass singing. And mind you, as well, the Most High God He speaks on them holiday singing as well. I'll pull that in a second for y'all. You understand? And singing and decorating houses. Man, that Christmas tree is in your house. That's part of the decoration, right? And of course, you're decking it out with red balls on green trees. Man, this was already written in the doggone Bible. There's nothing new under the sun. What is that? Ecclesiastes 1-9. There's nothing new under the sun. You understand? The same thing that was going on then is going on now. And for y'all to partake in, this wicked ass holiday, Christmas, is abominable. You understand? It's disgusting. The Most High God finds you disgusting, and you push him to wrath. I pray you understand that. All right, we're gonna read on. Verse 5. They're upright as the palm tree. Oh wait, hold on. Speak nothing must. Okay, yeah, no, so like it. No, we're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna pull that verse I was just talking about before we read the rest of that article. What was it? So this is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. Man, even God don't want to hear you. God don't want to hear that nonsense. It's stupid. It's disgusting. You don't even know what you're singing about. You don't even know where that's coming from. You understand? At least in the ISUPK under Commander John Yohana, when I say that I'm an Israelite and I keep the Passover, I keep the Day of Atonement, I keep the feast days, the high holy days. You understand? I can tell you why I do it. It's right here in this book. This is why I do it. Because the Most High God said to do it. I fear the Most High God. And if you read the stories where it is placed, as it'll tell you why exactly we're doing it. You understand? Why we're doing the Day of Atonement. Why are we doing the Passover? Why we're doing the Feast of Purim. You understand? It tells you exactly why. But I challenge every single Christian, why do you do Easter? What the hell does that a rabbit and an egg got to do with each other? I've never seen no freaking rabbit that lays eggs. What they got to do with each other? Why do you keep Valentine's Day? You understand? Why do you keep Thanksgiving? You think that's something to celebrate the genocide of the Native Americans, our Gadite brothers and sisters? That's something to celebrate? That's something to always remember? But you want to forget your slavery? You want to forget the Atlantic slave trade though? Like, come on now. All right, moving on with the article. Oh, doggone it! Did I lose it? No, that one's a New Year's. There it is. Okay. All right. Moving on. Mistletoe, though that was started by the Druids, the Celtic Druids, I believe they were like Scotland, Ireland, I believe, if I'm correct. Could be incorrect. Mistletoe, though, that was started by the Druids, who believed it was an all-powerful healing item from the sacred oak tree. If you met someone in the forest, you gave them the sign of peace under the mistletoe, so people started to hang mistletoe above their doorways as a symbol of peace. This was such a powerful symbol of paganism. Hold on, let me back, just in case I'm reading too fast. This was such a powerful symbol of paganism. You understand? Man, you hanging up that mistletoe like a goofball, man, that's a powerful symbol of paganism. You partaking in that, you hate God. You understand? You are showing how much you hate God. You understand? This was such a powerful symbol of paganism that English churches actually banned the use of it, Davis said. Davis also pointed out that the very first instance of a war on Christmas actually dates back to the Puritans in the mid-17th century. They knew all of these things. The date, the traditions were pagan ideas. The Puritans banned Christmas for 20 years in America before the celebration became just too popular. Now, if you had watched my class last week, we kind of touched on who the real God of America is. And this kind of hinted at it, just a little bit when it said, and this is just a hint, because I want to see if anybody online can, whether you was in the class last week or you can just tell me who is the actual God, or what is the actual God, the actual power that America serves and worships today, which also explains why it says that the Puritans banned Christmas for only 20 years in America before the celebration became just too popular. The fact that Christmas became too popular is your hint. You understand? Let me give y'all a few moments. Which gives me a second to whip my whistle. and then also get the next article ready. Mm-mm. All right. So we got two sisters. Shamaya got it first, and then Amanabad. Amanabad, you should have gotten it. You was right. You was right here in class in front of me last week. I'd be extremely disappointed if you didn't get this one. So like, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But both the sisters is right. It's money. You understand? It's money. It was so popular that how could America, the place that worships money above all else, give up an opportunity to make some extra money? You understand? Because look at it now. Man, look at right after Thanksgiving, what Target and Best Buy and Walmart, what them stores like that look like. You understand? JC Penney and Macy's, the malls. Man, that is when all them stores are booming. You understand? They are making money day in and day out. Hardly can keep anything on the shelves. You understand? That is something. I mean, that's what they want. That is all they worship. Is just that money. Because mind you, as well, what's been going on the last what? So we in 2022 now, right? So technically 3 years. You understand? It's been going on the last 3 years with the coronavirus. Didn't seem to really stop them, this past Christmas. Hell, even the Christmas of 2019, Christmas of 2020 or 2021, all of them. Man, as far as I knew, from what I had seen, there was still, Christmas gifts being exchanged. You understand? People were still going to the store. You wasn't stopping the holidays. You weren't keeping American citizens from, keeping their pagan traditions. You weren't stopping them. Now we gonna do Christmas. Oh no, we gonna do 4th of July. Oh no, we gonna do Valentine's Day. Oh no, we doing Thanksgiving, even though there's a doggone plague going around, killing everybody, hospitalizing everybody. Oh no, that's okay because Christmas is here. Thanksgiving is here. You understand? Like, if y'all can't even see just how wicked that is in itself, make sure you keep on coming to class. Tuesday to Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You understand? ISUPK Las Vegas. And mind you as well, there are classes that are going on 7 days a doggone week. You just type in the words, the letters ISUPK in your YouTube search toolbar. You understand? You will always find a class constantly going damn near 24/7, 7 days a week. This truth does not sleep. You understand? There is always somebody putting in some work to teach you how the world that you currently live in is wicked. You understand? The world that you currently live in is not for you. You understand? And quite frankly, to be honest with you, it's keeping you stupid. Because if you can't understand that how wicked that is, then you just don't know a lot. You understand? And in ISUPK, we can teach you a lot, and all that we teach you will be something that actually matters. You understand? The OJ sang about the evils of money long ago, and it's still the same today. I mean, it's always going to be the same because, like, hey, Ecclesiastes 1:9, ain't nothing new under the sun. It's always going to be the same. You understand? It's always been around. Same old, same old. You understand? All right, now we're gonna touch on New Year's, the history of New Year's. So we got a little bit of information about about Christmas, the origins of Christmas and whatnot. Came from the Romans, Basically, it was just a Christian transfer of the winter solstice. One thing that y'all will see and learn is that uh, all of the holidays that the Christians um, have in their worship, you understand, the high holy days, the high days that they keep, Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc. They're all bits and pieces from other cultures. Like Halloween is from the Celtic Druids. You understand? Christmas from the Romans. Easter's from the Egyptians. Easter is, that's actually their goddess of fertility. That's actually where the rabbit and the egg comes from. You understand? That was a symbol for their Egyptian goddess. I believe it's pronounced Ishtar, but it might be actually pronounced Easter, what have you. The point is, that was their Egyptian goddess of fertility. You understand? What else is there? Valentine's Day, the Romans. I think that's all the holiday. I think that's all of them. Halloween, Thanksgiving. I mean, Thanksgiving. That's an American tradition, just to celebrate one of the days of they set out on foot to go and commit genocide on the things on the our Gadite brothers and sisters, on the so-called Native Americans. You understand what they show you like with Charlie Brown? How the Indians and the Pilgrims had a feast together and that's bullshit. That's not true. That's Disney. You understand? Just like how Pocahontas and John Smith, that whole relationship, no, that's bullshit. You understand? That's all a lie. Pocahontas did not love that man. She was kidnapped and she was raped. You understand? She was kidnapped and raped. She did not fall in love with John Smith. You understand? So the same thing was going on, with Thanksgiving. That was, mind you, it wasn't even a military. It was volunteer citizens from, I think it was from a town in Vermont. I think it was in Vermont. One of the 13 colonies, right? Original 13 colonies. It was volunteer civilians that had decided, or volunteered to go and attack the Native Americans and slaughtered a large number of them. You understand? And when they came back, they feasted to celebrate the victory that the colonizers had on murdering those Native Americans. You understand? So Christianity is just one big whore that just marries everybody and their wicked ways. You understand? All right, so now moving on, Salaki. I know I get a little, I sidebar a bit. Hope that y'all actually, learn something from my sidebars. Needless to say, but hey, shalom, little Christ. It was good to see you. But moving on, we're gonna go on to the, a little history on New Year's. All right. This one is actually from the History Channel, history.com. This said, title just New Year's. Civilizations around the world have been celebrating the start of each new year for at least 4 millennia. Today, most New Year's festivities begin on December 31st, New Year's Eve, the last day of the Gregorian calendar, and continue into the early hour of January 1st, New Year's Day. Common traditions include attending parties, eating special New Year's foods, making resolutions for the new year, and watching fireworks display. Ancient New Year's celebrations. The earliest recorded festivities in honor of a New Year's arrival date back some 4,000 years to ancient Babylon. For the Babylonians, the first new moon following the vernal equinox, the day in late March with an equal amount of sunlight and darkness, heralded the start of a new year. They marked the occasion with a massive religious festival called Akitu, So like if I might be mispronouncing that. I'm not a Babylonian. Anyways, derived from the Sumerian word for barley, which was cut in the spring. That involved a different ritual on each of its 11 days. In addition to the new year, it's spelled different here. Atiku. They spelled it different for some reason. But anyways, Akitu celebrated the mythical victory of the Babylonian sky god Marduk over the evil sea goddess Tiamat and served an important political purpose. It was during this time that a new king was crowned, or that the current ruler's divine mandate was symbolically renewed. So right here you can see that the Babylonians, they at least did the new year in the springtime. You understand? But theirs was for some, a Babylonian sky god and an evil, basically had a fight with a sea goddess Tiamat. You understand? And it just served an important political purpose. Whatever political purpose that was, who knows? I mean, I don't see why the sky and the sea would have a beef, and that would determine the new year. But at the same time, I don't have the mindset of a pagan or a Hamite. We're not Africans, so there's that. Throughout antiquity, civilizations around the world developed increasingly sophisticated calendars, typically pinning the first day of the year to an agricultural or an astronomical event. In Egypt, for instance, the year began with the annual flooding of the Nile, which coincided with the rising of the star Sirius, the first day of the Chinese New Year. Meanwhile, occurred with the second new moon after the winter solstice. There we go. This is what I wanted to actually read. So, Salakia. All right. January 1st becomes New Year's Day. The early Roman calendar consisted of 10 months and 304 days, with each new year beginning at the vernal equinox, according to tradition. It was created by Romulus, the founder of Rome, in the 8th century BC. A later king, Numa Pompilius, is credited with adding the months of Januarius and Februarius. So, like if I said that wrong, not Roman either. Over the centuries, the calendar fell out of sync with the sun, and in 46 BC, the Emperor Julius Caesar decided to solve the problem by consulting with the most prominent astronomers and mathematicians of this time. He introduced the Julian Salakia. I'm just all over the place. He introduced the Julian calendar, which closely resembles the more modern Gregorian calendar that most countries around the world use today. So originally they had only 10 months. You understand? And as you can see, they added in 2 months, Janarius and Februarius, which is January and February, right? So they had only 10 months. The last month, just like how it is now, being December. If y'all actually break down the word December, Deca means 10. You understand? Just like how Octo is 8. You understand? They just shifted the months to the right to fit in January, February, which matches up with this in itself. You understand? Just in case y'all wanted to know that, quick little sidebar. Salakia. As part of his reform, Caesar instituted January 1st as the first day of the year, partly to honor the month's namesake, Janus, the Roman god of beginnings, whose 2 faces allowed him to look back into the past and forward into the future. Now, if y'all haven't put 2 and 2 together yet to see why it's important for us to even recognize the history or know the history of New Year's, again, it's the tradition of the Romans. You understand? This is the way of the man. And what did we just read in Jeremiah? What was it? 10:2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. You understand? Julius Caesar did all that because of, they were stupid, didn't know how to, read the stars, watch the moon, do this, that, and the other. They basically had just the most messed up calendar that they, like, think about it. They were 2 months off every single year for however long. And they would be in the middle of winter, and then their December would be a solid 3 months before they're like, oh, okay, now it's the new year because spring just came up. I'm trying to put my mind to how they thought winter happened. Like, they just had their winter month was just one long month, and then all the rest of the month, all the days of every other month is just 30 days. You understand? Like, y'all see how goofy that is? But then, Julius Caesar was like, okay, enough is enough. Let's get all the best mathematicians, all the best astrologers, all the whole shebang. Let's get the star people, the math people. Man, let's fix this. You understand? And still, mind you as well, the calendar is wrong. How you know the calendar is wrong? Because it got revised to the Gregorian, the Julian calendar became the Gregorian calendar, and the Gregorian calendar, which we use today, requires a leap year every 4 years because the calendar is off. It's still retarded. We're still following after, retarded people who can't, the blueprint is right here, people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The blueprint is right here. We know how the months work perfectly because of this Bible. You understand? We already knew that there was 12 months before the Romans was even an empire. You understand? We already knew when the new year was, but we didn't worship it. It wasn't something where, let's watch the ball and do this, that, and the other. The new year is just the new year. Okay, cool. Finally, I can take off all these doggone rugs and coats and just have my normal attire, and I'm not gonna be cold all the freaking time. I can finally start to warm up. You understand that? Like, that's how it was for us. You understand? Oh, now I get to see the flowers. It's like, me personally, my favorite season is the spring. And I love it when the flowers and the trees and when all the life has that first bloom, because it's always just the most vibrant colors at the very beginning, their first bloom. You understand? And I love to see that. Maybe not out here in Vegas, this desert's so doggone dead, but like when I lived in the South, when I was living in South Carolina and North Carolina, man, that was a beautiful thing to see. How, just how dark green and lush, it was a beautiful thing to see. But other than that, I wasn't gonna worship it. Like, oh, let me go break off that stick and start worshiping that tree. Thank you, tree. Like, come on now. That's goofy. That's something some goofy ass Hamite African or some white dude would do. You understand? But y'all also see that January, the month, is for that Roman god Janus, which this just went over. He's the god of, what is he? Janus, the Roman god of beginnings. You understand? Whose two faces allowed him to look back into the past and forward into the future. So when you're going into New Year's, the whole concept of New Year resolutions and stuff like that, that's part of worshiping that Roman god Janus. So again, you partaking in these Christian holidays, you're partaking into paganism. You're succumbing yourself to pagan culture and pagan ways. You understand? Yeah, sure. Maybe you're not, sacrificing a child, so you think. Maybe you're not putting a knife to his throat, so you think. Because in reality, especially as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American, the more that y'all sit here and partake in these pagan holidays, the closer and closer you are putting that knife to your child's heart. You understand? To slay your own child, to sacrifice your own child to them pagan holidays. Now you might be thinking, how am I doing that? I'm gonna tell you how. You ever notice that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are always the most stressful during, these pagan holidays, during Valentine's Day, during Christmas and Thanksgiving, where, we're so doggone stressed out. We always fighting with our own family, our own blood, our own. A lot of times, man, just because that's your brother, that's your cousin, that's your auntie, uncle, what have you, man, a lot of times, our own people end up killing their own family because of all that stress and duress that comes with that holiday that has nothing to do with you. You understand? And the fact that brother or even that sister had killed her man, or that brother killed his woman, or killed this brother, what have you, because of whatever holiday, at that time of whatever that holiday was, man, you raised him. As parents, we are raising our children to go and partake in Valentine's Day and Halloween and Christmas and birthdays and that whole shebang. So because you raising that child up to do those things, man, you just putting that knife, whatever weapon is used to kill your child, you are arming that person. And today, you arming that person today for in 25 years when that woman kills your son, you put that gun in her hands. Because if you were to raise your child up today not to partake in Christmas, not to partake in birthdays, not to partake in Valentine's Day, none of that, none of them Christian ways to get just to be separate from all of Christianity as a whole and follow the law, statutes, commandments like he's supposed to, man, your son or your daughter will never be in that position to be murdered by a pagan, to be sacrificed by a pagan. You understand? Because at the end of the day, that's what they all want. That's what these demons want. Them demons on you, ultimately, they just want blood. You understand? Pagans, at the end of the day, just want blood. You understand? And you give them that blood, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. But like I said, your son, he's raised up 25 years later, and his girl shoots him dead. Just remember, you raised him up to be in that situation. You understand? I pray that you do. Romans celebrated by offering sacrifices to Janus, exchanging gifts with one another, decorating their homes with laurel branches, and attending raucous parties. In medieval Europe, Christian leaders temporarily replaced January 1st as the first of the year with days carrying more religious significance, such as December 25th, the anniversary of Jesus' birth, and March 25th, the Feast of Annunciation. Pope Gregory XIII reestablished January 1st as New Year's Day in 1582. Let me see if I want to actually read on. Yeah, if you guys want to read more on that, like I said, this kind of stuff is an easy Google search. You understand? We got all this information at the tip of our fingers. You understand? I just typed in the history of New Year's. You understand? So that's it on that. So we do actually have a little bit of time, so we're gonna get into it. Basically continuing the rest of that of the topic we had been talking about last couple of weeks. basically what it all comes down to is us actually having free will or not. And this portion of not having free will is, as the title says, does God love I believe it says, does God love the sinner? Or does God love the sin and the sinner? You understand? And what we're going to do is debunk basically what the Christians say about that. That no, God does not love the sinner, and hate the sin. You understand? He hates both of them. You understand? And with that, we are going to start at the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse Salakia. No, the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 16. Salakia. My doggone thing all messed up. Whew. Put some miles into this Bible. Salakia. All right. So this is the book of 2 Peter. This is 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 16. For we have not followed cunningly devised fables, when we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, but were eyewitnesses of his majesty. You understand? So this is Peter saying that they did not follow the cunningly devised fables. You understand? Those cunningly devised fables is like, for instance, since we're just around the holidays anyways, Christmas, that story of Santa Claus. You understand? The story of New Year's. Oh, New Year, new me. Man, you still a whore just like you was yesterday. Shut up. You understand? Or the story of Valentine's Day. I don't even think there is really a freaking story with Valentine's Day. I think we're just told that we're supposed to, shower our women with gifts she doesn't, deserve. She's probably a freaking monster, a dragon at home, but I'm supposed to shower her with roses and teddy bears and chocolates and touch her crusty ass feet with her toes curled up like this because she can't take care of her feet. Like, man, probably smell like pickles. Like, no. Nah, you understand? Peter is saying that they didn't follow after those ways, after those fables, after those stories, right? When we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, but were eyewitnesses of his majesty. So at that time, man, he's saying like we were eyewitnesses of Christ. Peter was there to see the things that Christ had done, right? And they were there focused on Christ and not them pagan ways. You understand? They were there focusing on following after Christ's footsteps. You understand? Instead of getting caught up in some stupid story. You understand? Some stupid make-believe story at that. Oh, I need my apocryphal Salaki. You know what? I just do it digitally. That way it's faster since we slid kind of a little short on time. And I got quite a few to go over. But we'll probably do a part 2 anyways to finish up this, what all I have. So no sweat. Next, we're going to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 14. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 14. Love the Lord all thy life and call upon him for thy salvation. You understand? So, of course, we're also setting the tone right now with, what we should be caught up with and what not to be caught up with. You understand? What we should be doing, not be doing. Because like in 2 Peter's, like, man, don't get caught up in them doggone fables, them stupid stories, and they're cunningly devised fables. You understand? They are, again, our oppressor is the most subtle beast of the field. man, he's gonna bring, he's gonna concoct some crazy, ridiculous story. It's so crazy, it has to be true of a story. I mean, hell, got people believe, got people literally raising their kids. You better not lie, but then in the same breath saying that you better be good. You better not lie, because if you lie, Santa Claus is gonna put coal in your stocking. I mean, you just righteously correct, taught your child something righteous, correct. But in that same breath, that same sentence, just did a very unbrotherly, unrighteous thing, which is lied to them. Ain't no freaking Santa Claus gonna give them anything. You understand? Ecclesiasticus 13 and 14 is saying, love the Lord all thy life and call upon him for thy salvation. So, of course, this is, man, lean on to the Lord, man. Love the Lord. And how do you love the Lord, man? Follow them laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Man, love in deed, not in tongue. You understand? And of course, we're gonna go over some of them scriptures in time. So I like it. Freaking throat dry. Then we're gonna drop that. Go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. Actually, no, hold on. So Salakia, give me a second. Well, actually, no, we are gonna read that. Okay. So this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So, man, this is talking about men. Men are not supposed. Man is not supposed to have sex with man. Just like women ain't supposed to have sex with women, right? That is an abomination unto the Lord. You understand? He finds that disgusting, and he will kill you for that. You understand? And of course, because he finds that as an abomination for you to do that, man, that goes against what we just read in Ecclesiasticus 13 and 14. Man, you ain't loving the Most High God with all thy heart. You understand? You're not leaning, you're not going to him for your salvation. You understand? If you having them type of urges, thoughts, what have you, man, seek counsel. You understand? Do not make yourself into an abomination. Hey, shalom, Lord of Christ, troopers, good to see you. You understand? And of course, with this being, does God love the sinner? That's a very important scripture for us to even pull in the first place, because they got them doggone gay Christian churches where you could be openly gay in church and it's okay in there. Apparently they can kumbaya and God loves them, and that's legit a whole doctrine. You understand? Where gays, homosexuals have their own church and praise Jesus. Ain't that something? When it says right here in Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. An abomination, something disgusting, something just horrible, something that God hates. They shall surely be put to death. Man, they are to die. They are to be killed, not worship, not build their own church. You understand? That's why, if I may, that's why it really pisses me off when, the alphabet boys, them LGBTQ, LMNOP people be sitting there talking about how they oppressed and, they're going, their life is so hard and this, that, and the man. First of all, you chose to act out them acts that you partake. You chose to partake on them events that you partake on when you lay down with another man, when you lay down with another woman, you choose to do all these things. You understand? You choosing this hardship that you deserve because the Lord don't even want it in the first place on this earth. The Lord wants you dead for doing that crap. You understand? But it just pisses me off the fact that we so oppressed. It's so hard for us to be, elemental P people, this, that, and the other, but yet, they getting bills, treaties, churches, all manners of things so very quickly. I mean, here in America, what? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are still waiting for, the white man to stop stealing their land, stop murdering them, stop kidnapping them, stop raping them, stop flooding, their neighborhoods with drugs, right? Stop lying to them. Hispanics still waiting for the same thing to be released from the cages as well at the border. The ISUPK doesn't forget about that stuff. You understand? Y'all at home might have forgot that our Hispanic brothers and sisters are locked up in cages at the border, because they're a so-called illegal immigrant on their own land, right? The ISUPK doesn't forget those things. You understand? And of course, let us not forget the so-called black man, where, of course, with the Hispanics and the Native Americans to our left and to our right, because we all built this country together with our blood, sweat, and tears. But, we're still waiting for all of that our other two brothers are waiting for. But also, what is it? 30 acres and a mule. You understand? What reparations do we get? None of us are getting anything. You understand? But yet, let alone a doggone treaty, a bill to protect, us from being called a nigger or being called a wetback or a savage. You understand? Oh no, that's all A-OK. You understand? I pray that you do. I pray that you do. Because here these homosexuals are just being the biggest victims of the century and getting everything that you deserve and then some. But you know what? That's okay. Because when the scripture in time, they all gonna burn. The Lord is gonna, that sword is gonna come down and cut them, slay them all. You understand? And as long as you do your part, do as you are ordered to do, be that faithful servant. You understand? And follow those laws. By following those laws, statutes, and commandments, you get to watch all of them get doggone slaughtered. And hell, then you on top with a doggone crown. You understand? Running this earth. Yeah, I pray that y'all understand that, Black, Hispanic, and Native American, man. Your future and your children's future, your grandchildren's future, man. All of that can be secured not for the better, but for the best. If you just simply come into the ISUPK under command of Julian and serve the Most High God like you are supposed to, the way that you are supposed to, the way that the Most High God had ordered us to in the first place. You understand? You will be at your rightful position on this earth. All right. And part of that is, man, letting your brother know, letting your sisters know, man, you being a homosexual, you being a lesbian, like, God gonna kill you for that. And at that point, once you let them know, man, they blood is off your hands. Because if you know better and you don't say nothing, man, they blood is on your hands. But once you hey, you shouldn't do that, and they end up getting killed for it after you warn them, that ain't your problem no more. You understand? They blood is now on their own hands. You understand? All right, we're going to drop that, go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 22. And again, Leviticus 18 and 22, it says it again. So obviously, that is something we are not supposed to partake on. This whole homosexuality. You understand? The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. Again, just hitting that even harder. Yeah, oh, it's like hitting that again to let you know. You understand? All right, we're gonna drop that. Go to the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. Book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God. Now you're gonna find out how you actually show that you actually love God. You understand? Just, a spoiler alert. It is not you going to church saying, it's not doing all that snake, parcel tongue bullshit from Harry Potter, whatever the hell they they be doing. When that something with Tim Tebow that grabs snakes and sound like some Muslims. They don't even know what the hell they say. I remember, I know I do this a lot with my sidebars. But I remember first time I went to one of them churches, my dad was dating this woman, right? And we went to her church. And, it was time for us to break off, or the adults do their own thing. And then the teenagers go, and, the teenage worship, I guess. I don't know what they else call it. But anyways, there was this sister. She was, a Judite sister. She was the one, I don't know what you would call her. The one that was showing me around, basically, right? And, she was like, obviously showing me around, talking to me, being friendly, being cool. You know what I'm saying? All right. And then came time for the teenage worship or whatever, and they start playing music on the drums and the guitar, and okay, I'm watching them, seeing how they function, see how this all works. And then all of a sudden, she puts her hands up and I'm like, I'm literally, because I'm a freshman. I was only real small. You understand? So I'm looking up at her. Like, what the hell is she saying? She we finish up. They stop playing finally. So they stop, speaking Muslim. And I'm like, yo, so what were you just saying right there? She tells me, she's like, oh, that it's speaking in tongues when the Holy, when you get the Holy Spirit, it makes you speak in tongues. I'm like, okay. So what were you saying though? Did you understand what you were saying? She said, no, it was just, my spirit talking. I'm like, so you're talking, but you don't know what the hell you're saying. So you just saying stuff. She's like, yeah, you just have to, just trying to force her bullshit explanation, but her nonsense explanation just to get me to just believe it. I'm just like, that makes no sense. It made no sense. Because if I'm going to be speaking something, surely I know what the hell I'm saying. Unless it's something, you ask somebody, hey, tell me how to say something in Spanish, and they tell you to say something totally different. It might be something like that. But other than, you know what I'm saying? Like, she made it seem like she was fluent. Like, she didn't, she wasn't stuttering. I mean, maybe it was a lot of stuttering. Honestly, what it sounded like to me, but she was just like, she knew what she was doing. Like, she was fluent in it. But you don't know what the hell you saying? So like, no, that is not how you show the Most High God that you love him. You understand? This is how you show him that you love the Most High God. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. Man, what's crazy was, I'm sure I might have built up unnecessarily the intensity for some of y'all that might not have known this scripture and didn't have it in front of you. Like, man, damn, I just want to know, like, what great grand thing do I have to do to show the Most High God that I love him? How do I show God that I'm after his heart, that I am worshiping him? And I finish off what it has to say. It ain't even that bad. Don't be a homosexual. Don't eat pork. Don't eat shrimp. Don't eat crab. Don't eat unclean foods. Love your brother and your sister. You understand? Not just the ones that you came from the same pair of testicles from, not just the ones that you came from, the same vagina from, or either or. You understand? Whether it's the same, or mix and match. Not just those brothers and sisters, but you understand? All blacks, all Hispanics, all Native Americans. You understand? Those are all of your brothers and sisters. Love them all. And the Most High God commanded you to do it. And hell, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, our King in the Hebrew, or Jesus Christ in the English, he showed you how to do it. That was the whole mission, the whole objective with Christ when he had, boots on ground, sandals on ground. You understand? His whole objective was to show brothers and sisters how to be brotherly, how to live those laws, statutes, commandments, and the brotherhood that came behind it. Because of course, what did the apostles? The apostles asked them, "What is the greatest commandment?" He said, "The first commandment." I'm just gonna paraphrase, and we ain't gonna pull it. He said, "The greatest commandment is that you love the Most High God with your mind, body, and soul." Just paraphrasing it. But the second, which is very similar to the first, but it's a very close second, is that you love your brother as thyself. You understand? That you love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans as yourself. You understand what I'm saying? That's that brotherhood. That is part of the commandments. You understand what I'm saying? And the new commandment that Christ had given you was just that exactly, that you love thy brother as thyself. You understand? Let's finish this up. Book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Man, keeping these commandments is not, it's not something difficult. You know what's difficult? Living in this goddamn America. You know what's difficult? Paying for natural renewable resources that some way, somehow, a man was able to say he owns that. And if I don't pay it, I'm going to be completely without. And I won't be able to damn near buy anything. You understand? That's grievous. You understand? You know what's grievous? Where you can have, you can be with a wicked woman. A woman can turn out to be wicked, have your child, put you on child support, and get you locked up, keep you from getting a job, keep you from doing a whole lot of things. Because it's not that you won't pay child support, it's that you can't pay child support. You probably don't even have a freaking job. Probably having a hard time getting a job. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you are a black man, you are a Hispanic man, you are a Native American man. You understand? I pray that y'all do. Now we're going to drop that. Go to the book of First John chapter 4, verse 20. This is the book of John chapter 4 of Salaki. Book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. And think about what we was just talking about. You understand? How Christ came on the scene, showing true brotherhood. If a man say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? Man, you sound like a Christian right there. You know how? You know why I say that? because you'll say that you love God, but then try to kill your brother, man. You act as if you don't even believe in God in the first place. Because we are to fear God. And if you're killing God's people, you must not fear him, let alone love him. You understand? Christians, at the end of the day, don't even believe in the God that they worship. You can say that they do, but the God that they worship, that Christian God, is just an excuse to keep on doing all manners of wickedness that they've been doing. They just need somebody to say, you know what? It's okay. I understand you're going to mess up. I understand that. They just need somebody to say that so that they will feel better about themselves when they continue to be a homosexual, when they continue to kill their own brothers and sisters, when they continue to abort their babies. You understand? When they continue to put the other nations of people over their own, to prefer, the other nations' daughters and sons over their own. You understand? Or their customs and ways. Puts Christmas, man, I'd rather do Christmas than the Day of Atonement. Hey, Lord be with you on that. Lord be with you. You understand? I'd rather do Easter than go to the Passover. All right, man. Hey, Lord be with you on that. Lord be with you. You understand? They'd rather do everything else but essentially love their own. Be for their own. Because when you partake in anything with this Bible, you do the smallest act according to this Bible, man, you are doing that's one small act towards being brotherly brotherly or sisterly towards your brothers and sisters. That is a brotherly and sisterly service towards your brother and sister, because now that is one less thing that is going to that won't pain your brothers and sisters, that won't pain us here in the ISUPK, because it does pain us to see our brothers and sisters on crack or be addicted to marijuana, to see our sisters on stripper poles. Because you know what? When we see our brothers and sisters, as drug addicts, as whores, murderers, what, man, we don't look at you as necessarily as just that label. When I see my brothers and sisters in them, doing them wicked things, I'm just like, damn, bro, my people, it really is destroyed. Because that's the reality of it. Because we aren't thieves. We aren't whores. We aren't murderers. And we just destroyed right now. You understand? And again, it's because of, it's due to the lack of knowledge, our stubbornness and lack of knowledge. You understand? And of course, our love for the other nations. You understand? Read it on. Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also. You understand? So if you love the Most High, man, you're going to love your brother. If you love your brother, you're going to love the Most High. Because at the end of the day, the thing is, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans will never have heaven. We will never have salvation on our own as individuals. It's either all of us or none of us. You understand? I mean, hell, look at Moses. Did he get the kingdom? Hell, look at Job. Job was an upright and righteous man. Did he get the kingdom? Man, we haven't had the kingdom yet. You understand? King David was a man after the Lord's heart. The Most High God loved David. Did he get the kingdom? No. You understand? It's something that we all have to have. We all will inherit together. You understand? That's one way how you know that our God is is a black man. Because just think about your household where you would get in trouble because your little brother, your little sister, or even your older brother or older sister, whatever, did something that had nothing to do with you, but y'all got your ass whooped. Like, damn, man, I was just sleeping. I still got my ass beat. Shut up before I beat you again. Sound like the Most High God, don't it? Because that's literally what is going on today. What's been going on throughout the whole Bible. You understand? And in fact, it may not be written right now, but we are in those biblical times right now. These are biblical times. We never came out of biblical times. I pray y'all understand what I'm saying right now. That we are still in biblical times. All of this hasn't wrapped up yet. You understand? In fact, this is all a whole new story of us being in captivity. You understand? That was spoken about before, but now it's actually we're in the process of living it and documenting it. You understand? So that, you know what? When we in the kingdom, we able to look back and read it and read about it, as in our new bodies. In that life when we raised up in the kingdom. You understand? But you know what? That will not come until we all already, until we come together, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and stop freaking hating each other like how our oppressors want us to. Stop doing what our oppressors want us to do and start doing what the Most High God wants us to do. You understand? All right. We're gonna drop that. Go to the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 18. We'll just read a couple more, and then we'll pick up next Tuesday from where we left off, or from where we leave off. We are so in the last days that the U.S. had 1 million COVID cases in one day. Oh no, hey, and Most High in Christ, and give the Lord a hand for that. You understand? And just after what you just said, sis, I was just talking to one of my ribs about this earlier. About there's not only is there a new variant, so we thought that Omicron was I believe that's what it is, Omicron or Omicron, whatever it is, was the last variant. There's a new variant that just came out, and to make things even worsely better or betterly worse, however you want to word it, perspective. There's also a new thing called the flu-rona, right? Where people are getting influenza and corona at the same time. Ooh. I'm very, very, very curious to see what the numbers are going to look like as far as fatalities, because now that that's becoming a thing. And mind you as well, if I may, I was saying before that there is going to be there's going to be a time, this upcoming winter is going to be another shutdown. Matter of fact, it wasn't even just me. You understand? This was the personal conversations I was having, but mind you as well, Commander General Hanna was saying this as well. There's going to be another shutdown during the flu season with how the coronavirus is going, is acting up and whatnot. It's going to be another doggone shutdown. And look, a flu-rona, now that's about to be something real serious, because you know what? The flu has been something that we've been kind of dealing with and kind of been able to handle the last couple, 100 years or so. But it's never been paired up with another respiratory virus like corona before. Now, that's going to be one hell of a wombo combo now. The Lord, whew, y'all really need to get in these classes. And I'm telling I'm telling y'all need to get in these classes. Because right now, these plagues, bruh, is getting serious. You about to see this economy fall. You about to see just the collapse of Babylon before your own eyes. You understand? If you wait too long, you're going to be one of them. Just like, oh, well, there go the chariot. Damn. They was telling me about this in class. Whoosh, and you just get engulfed within flames. Because you wanted to wait last minute. You still wanted to be a homosexual. You still wanted to get high. You know, the lust of your flesh was more important than the love of the Most High and the love of your people. You understand? There were 10 plagues sent to Egypt. Aren't we in Egypt again? I mean, yeah, we in bondage all over again. You know, this modern day Babylon. You understand? All right, so like it. Where was I? 1 John 3:18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. Man, that's basically what I was saying earlier. You know, we ain't supposed to Mike Shaman, you know, do. You ain't supposed to do all that. You understand? The Lord ain't hearing all that. He just like how you know Christians that you saying a bunch of BS gibberish. You understand? The Lord knows you saying some BS gibberish. The Lord knows you don't. The Lord probably laughing at, if he's even listening to that nonsense. He probably laughing at you. You understand? He ain't trying to hear that. You understand? But of course, he's not worried about what you have to say, anyways. Man, what do you show me? You know, I don't want a woman to tell me that she loves me. And it's okay. You can tell me, all right. But I'm not gonna believe it until you show me how you love me. Show me that you love me. How you gonna act when I give you correction? You understand? You really love me? Man, let me see how you act when we have that discussion about multiple women. You understand? You really love me? Show me how really committed that you are. You understand? Let's see. And the Lord is just asking that we just, you know, in action, we just follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Which is not, it's not something that is grievous. You understand? Like I said, you just have to stop. You stop eating certain things. Oh, wow. You stop eating unclean foods. Now you're healthier. So grievous. Right? That's a lucky. It's a lucky. You know, stop doing them things where, you know, you killing your brothers. Because mind you, when you killing your brothers, you putting the target on your own back. So you stop doing that. Oh no. Now you don't have a target on your back. You start to choose life. You are given life. You understand? You were removed from a death sentence because you decided to put away that life living for death, to take on that life living for life. You understand? What time we got? All right. Where is my writing utensil? I will mark that in a second. Okay, so we will continue this from where I left off at 1 John 3:18 next week, next Tuesday. To probably be wrapping up this whole free will is not, you know, is not real series, so to speak. You understand? So again, you know, this is the ISUPK Las Vegas Tuesday Brotherhood class. I'm precinct officer of 50 Iraq. You understand? Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakathum to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Elatah Hashem Yahushai to all the sisters. And with that, class dismissed.